Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, I didn't watch this. I forgot I let it play, and it went to that moment. Okay. Sometimes there are videos that I didn't think of or plan on watching in the moment or plan on learning about the subject in the moment, but they pop up either from your recommendations or on YouTube, and I really want to learn on it. Click on it and learn about it. This is one of those cases, all right? I did a like, all right? Forces News, preemptive like, making the UK Armed Forces world famous uniforms. My name is Connor. If you're new, I'm from New England, America. Hope everyone's doing well. All right, let's go.
These here are military buttons. So this one.
Possibility. I ask a lot of questions here. So if that's not something that you like, you might want to skip.
Most of these here are military buttons. Most of these here are military buttons. So this one here is what we call an anodized, a brass anodized.
This is just a small sample of the button selection held at one of the oldest military tailors in the UK.
Here, we've got them in 30 line and 40 line. Line's actually a measurement, and we use line counters just so that we can measure the size of the buttons.
Samuel Brothers gets through tens of thousands of them every year, and the attention to detail that goes into every garment is evident at their factory in Harwich.
Donna, this is the mess dress for the Queen's Own Yeomanry. It is absolutely beautiful, but where does this rank in difficulty?
This is one of the more intricate.
Yeoman. I've heard that. That's definitely a term you guys have already taught me before. I need to be told things like 5 times for it to sink in. Yeoman.
But where does this rank in difficulty?
This is one of the more intricate garments that we make. As you'll see,
gorgeous.
The pockets are rather fancy. Everything has to be measured and boxed. Everything's done in boxes.
So all of this is done by hand?
Everything's done by hand on one length of thread, braid, one length of braid.
How long does it take, just to do that bit?
That probably takes about an hour to do that one, that pocket.
And the whole uniform, how long does this take?
The whole
3
uniform
days.
takes about 12 hours for the jacket and the waistcoat, but the waistcoat is the more time-consuming.
The team of 15 highly skilled staff make around 2,000 uniforms a year, and that
I could sit next to one of these people and I wouldn't need to talk and just watch them do it. I love watching people who have this trade. They have this skill that anyone can watch and I love being able to speak words properly, which I'm not doing. I just love seeing people who are really good at a certain task and just watch them work. It's very soothing and stimulating to me.
takes thousands of meters of make around 2,000 uniforms a year, and that takes thousands of meters of material.
Here, you've got variety of cloth from overcoating. You'll recognize these in winter order for the household division. It's an athol grey coating. Here you've got some doeskin, which we make mess dress, different colors for different regiments. But this is all British cloth, and I'm really proud to support UK mills.
What sort of cost are we looking at for material like this?
Anything from sort of £27 a metre up to 90. Some of our cloths, the cashmere, can be £300–400 a metre. So,
well, the reason that the color red was chosen, right, for that iconic British uniform in the first place was because of its cheapness, I believe. So,
if you need 4.5 meters,
despite it looking at absolutely just beautiful
meters for a coat, you know, that's an awful lot of money. So you can understand why.
Shut up, me.
Our cloths of cashmere, it can be £300–400 a metre. So if you need 4.5 meters for a coat, that's an awful lot of money. So you can understand why guys are a little bit nervous when they start cutting. So there's a saying, measure twice, cut once.
I first visited Samuel Brothers back in 2017, but I wanted to return to see if any of the traditional techniques of tailoring they used had...
Sorry, that same, measure twice, cut once is the same for like woodworking, or building a house.
But I wanted to return to see if any of the traditional techniques of tailoring they used had changed.
And then it will be prepared.
These patterns are now part of history, because when I was here 7 years ago, everything that Samuel Brothers does was cut from these and all done by hand. But 4 years ago, a new piece of kit meant these are consigned to the history books.
Samuel Brothers invested in a pattern cutter machine, and that has reduced the time it takes them to cut a garment from 40 to 6 minutes.
I think as a business that's approaching 200 years old, we need to be adaptable and we need to progress. So we've bought and invested in some equipment that will secure some of our IP, and also we're utilising the next generation of makers in becoming more technologically advanced, which is all exciting. For people like me, perhaps I'm a little bit behind the curve, but we have to move, we have to adapt. If we're to continue and survive, really, we need to keep up.
I think that there's, you want to keep it, especially something like a military uniform, you want to keep it as, there's a tradition to it that's special, I'm sure. But if you think about like other things, I mean, back to them, that this was a new kind of way of doing things. I'm sure they didn't look back at, everything that is very old and traditional was once new and breaking from the mold. And so sometimes you gotta do that again.
From cutting
To continue and survive, really, we need to keep up.
From cutting most probably 4 garments by hand a day, from start to finish. We're able to cut about 25 garments in a day.
Samuel Brothers might have taken a step forward with the new machine, but there is still a real sense of history here. Where else do you get such a choice in gold braiding, which has been a feature of military uniforms for centuries?
They've got everything here, from Royal Navy cuff curls, here's some thistle braid, and this one here is an oak leaf. This wide one would go down the side of a trouser, but you always have to make sure that it's the right way up. Similarly here, this beautiful one is a rose, and that would go down the edge of a jacket.
And that gold braiding could be seen in abundance on the troops heading into London for the King's coronation. Many of these uniforms would have come through the Samuel Brothers factory. Claire Sadler, Forces News, Harwich.
Guys, isn't it fascinating how gold is it's seemingly universally arrived upon in civilizations across the world to be this amazing material that is just sought after and usually seen as to show power and wealth? I'm assuming a few reasons. Relatively scarce, difficult to find, making it a bit more pricey. But I'm sure there are more rare things that just aren't as beautiful looking. I think it's pretty malleable. As far as metals go, it's pretty soft. It's heavy. And so if you're a very wealthy or kingly figure and you're going to want these ornate things, whether it be a crown or a part of a chair or chandelier or whatever, I'm sure gold would be the go-to. And I'm sure, people found that out early on. And I think that's a cool little thing to think about. It's a great video. I know I ask a lot of things, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are just like, I learned and maybe even acknowledged in comments where like I learned something and then I forget it and then I ask. I'm not the greatest learner, okay? I hate to use that excuse, but it's just true. And I appreciate you guys continuing to tell me even things you might have told me in a video 4 months back or something like that. I really am thankful for that. The yeoman being one of them. I always think of like beefeater, yeoman, beefeater, same thing. No, see, no disrespect. I forget a lot, and obviously this guy's outfit is so iconic. Just like the bearskin caps and the red coat on these guards you see. So hope you're all doing well. Would appreciate any comments down below, like always. And hopefully I'll see you next video. Bye, guys.